get to this point in the album she knows about Diddy's underground dealings and if she had any part in it. I think the hardest thing about nope, they were supposedly fronts for something way darker, kind of like an Epstein vibe. He knows something we don't. After all, he's knee-deep in Hollywood, and those circles don't play. Maybe he's covering his own tracks. Or maybe he's just sitting back, watching the pieces fall into place before he decides to make his move. And then there's J-Lo. What's her role in all of this? What does she really know? She's got a lot at stake. Her career, her marriage to Ben Affleck, that iconic status she's worked so hard to build. If she was more involved in Diddy's shady dealings than we think, imagine the storm it could cause. Would Ben stick by her side if it all came crashing down? Or is J-Lo really just the innocent bystander caught up in someone else's mess? Her mom's definitely making it clear J-Lo ain't going back to Diddy, and maybe she knows her daughter dodged a major bullet. As Diddy's legal drama stacks up, you can bet there are plenty of folks out there scrambling to break ties and distance themselves from the wreckage. And get this, Prince Harry, of all people, used to be buddy-buddy with Diddy. They bonded over charity work, but those days are probably long gone now. Rumors are swirling that Harry may have gotten wrapped up in some sketchy retreats Diddy was hosting. Can you imagine the fallout for Harry, especially with his already shaky relationship with the royal family? Then there's Conor McGregor, the Chaos King, who was all in on starting a new drink. Biz with Diddy? Yeah, scratch that plan. No one's blaming McGregor for pulling out. Dude loves a good fight, but this ain't the kind of battle he's looking for. He's making moves to quietly exit any shady dealings with Diddy. And we can't forget about Soulja Boy. He went from being Diddy's biggest cheerleader to a vocal critic. He's out here calling Diddy out for not showing love to the younger artists. Let's be real, it looks like he's just following the wave, but it also shows how fast things change in the music game. One day, Diddy's the all-powerful mentor, and the next, he's the one folks don't want to mess with. As all these stories start to unfold, the big question is, where does it all end? Diddy's been running the game from music to fashion to movies, but now the whole empire is looking like it's about to come crashing down. What once looked like a glamorous world now feels more dead-failed. And all of this involves some of the most powerful people in the world, including Mulder and Scully, on the monthly program Dragon Ball, performed by AI. Like a smokescreen for a tangled web of lies, manipulation, and power plays. Every day more connections are surfacing, and it seems like everyone's scrambling to cover their tracks. Who's next to get pulled into this mess? It's raising all sorts of questions about what's coming next as this drama keeps unfolding, layer by layer, showing just how deep the chaos really runs. It's almost unbelievable to watch as former friends start turning on each other. How will they deal with the fallout when the dust settles? What will be left of their reputations? This has all the makings of a real-life soap opera, keeping us on the edge of our seats, wondering who's going to come out of this cutthroat game of show business unscathed. One minute you're the hero, the next you're the villain, depending on your last move or who you're seen with. Diddy, once the kingmaker of the industry, now looks more like a puppet master, hiding his true intentions behind each new project he launches. McGregor's move to distance himself from Diddy might just be a smart one. In this game, your next deal could make or break you, and choosing your circle wisely is more crucial than ever. It's not just about cash, it's about staying out of the drama. McGregor, with his own brand to protect, doesn't need the kind of heat Diddy's bringing right now. Then there's Soulja Boy, who's flipped from supporter to critic. Might seem like he's jumping on the bandwagon, but it's also a wake-up call to other artists. It's a reminder that you gotta keep your eyes open and question everything, even when someone seems to have your back. In this industry, your ride or die today could be your biggest enemy tomorrow. Soulja Boy looks like he's trying to separate himself before the ship goes down. With every new headline, the cracks in Diddy's empire get wider, and those who once orbited him are starting to realize the risks of staying in his circle. It's a high-stakes game of power, pride, and survival, with everyone trying to stay one step ahead of the wreckage. Who's next to pull back? And who's going to be bold enough to spill the tea? This whole thing has the vibe of a blockbuster film where every twist leaves you wondering what's coming next. And in this world, the stakes are sky high. We're all tuned in, waiting to see who's going to rise to the top, who's going to crash and burn, and just how far the fallout will stretch. Who's going to be left standing when the music finally stops? Jennifer Lopez's life is full of jaw-dropping moments, and let's be real, not all of them have been picture perfect. Sure, she's a showstopper on stage, but let's not kid ourselves. It ain't all glitz and glam. J-Lo's had her fair share of eyebrow-raising scandals that kept the gossip mills running non-stop. From those questionable relationship choices to sketchy performances and failed business moves, she's definitely made her missteps. But hey, isn't that what makes her so fascinating? Hold tight, because this rabbit hole goes deep. Who could forget back in 2001, when she dropped the remix of I'm Real? You remember the one with Ja Rule? The one that dropped a racial slur? Yeah, that one. The track didn't exactly go over well. People were heated, calling her out for not having the sense to check the lyrics. J-Lo tried to defend herself by pointing the finger at Ja Rule, saying she didn't mean to offend anyone. But come on, J-Lo, you're a megastar, not some rookie. That wasn't a slip-up, it was a major misstep that you thought would just slide by unnoticed. And don't even get me started on J-Lo's love life. Child, it's a whole saga in itself. That whirlwind marriage to Chris Judd in 2001? Done before it even really got started. Then came Ben Affleck, the man who had the entire world glued to their screens, watching their every move. Their over-the-top engagement in 2002 turned into a full-blown media circus, but just like that, it all came crashing down. They called it off right before the wedding, and by 2004, they were history. Of course, the media feasted on that, picking apart everything from Ben's stone-cold poker face to J-Lo's desperate need to maintain that perfect Lollywood couple image. They tried to sell it as a tragic love story, but let's be real. It was probably doomed from the jump with all that Hollywood pressure. Then enter Mark Antony, the smooth-talking crooner who seemed to be her stabilizer, at least for a minute. They got hitched in 2004, but by 2011, they were calling it quits too. And of course, they did the whole we'll stay friends and co-parent our twins thing, but you know how it goes with these celebs. Woo! Girl, Jennifer Lopez is straight losing it after that FBI raid video with her and Diddy was dragged into court. And honey, this ain't just another one of those Hollywood scandals. It could really be the end of an era for both of them. Jennifer Lopez is doing everything in her power to avoid Diddy, but that's pretty difficult to do when there are a ton of photos of them together all over the internet. Keep in mind, these two dated from 1999 to 2001, and there are a lot of photos from Diddy's 2004 4th of July party floating around. Want to hear a readback of the testimony relating to Coles's former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police? An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home. Jo Lo, when she was dating Diddy back in the 90s, was present during a nightclub shooting in New York where Diddy allegedly shot 3 people, but then he had somebody else take the fall for it. They also seized evidence of electronic devices that contain images and videos of the victims, and they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs's staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms. See, this ain't the first time J-Lo and Diddy's names have been caught up in a legal mess, but this time, baby, the stakes are way higher. This footage, allegedly filmed during an FBI raid at some high-profile mansion, ain't just showing a vulnerable moment. It might expose years of secrets they've both been trying to keep buried. Now, we all know J-Lo and Diddy's history goes all the way back to the late 90s, when their relationship had everybody talking. Yeah, their love story ended a long time ago, but somehow their paths keep crossing, both in business and in ways that keep them front and center in the tabloids. From Diddy's shady money dealings to all the behind-the-scenes moves he's made and J-Lo doing her best to distance herself from the drama, their history is full of tension. And now, with this leaked video, they're getting pulled right back into the spotlight. Except this time, it might be one of the worst scandals yet. Not only does this footage link Jennifer and Diddy to some possible legal trouble, but it's also hinting at even bigger cover-ups. So, what's the real story behind this leaked video? Well, sources are saying it ain't just a basic raid clip. Nope. Allegedly, it shows a heated confrontation with Jennifer, Diddy, and a bunch of other mystery folks whose names still ain't been revealed. Eyewitnesses are spilling tea that the footage shows a heated standoff with FBI agents where they snatched up some real sensitive docs, possibly tied to shady financial moves and other sneaky business. Now, what's got folks shook is the resistance, both verbal and physical, coming from the people caught on tape. Word on the street is that other A-list celebrities might be in the mix, or at least referenced in the video, which explains why Hollywood's inner circle is in full-on panic mode right now. While the whole tape hasn't dropped yet, insiders are saying this clip could ruin careers left and right. Folks on camera were big mad, and that tension makes it clear the FBI might have been about to crack something way bigger than anyone was ready for. And baby, J-Lo ain't taking this L. Word is, Sis is on a rampage, rolling with a team of high-powered lawyers to save herself. Rumor has it, she's working overtime to keep that footage from spreading, threatening to sue anyone who's and surveillance that could expose a huge criminal ring. And guess what? The feds just showed this video in court as evidence. While a lot of details are still on the low, insiders say the judge's reaction was straight-up disbelief, leading them to immediately call for a private recess. Now, that's how you know it's about to go down. Whatever's on that tape must be real serious, because when they start calling for closed-door talks, you know it's no joke. And if J-Lo's caught up in any of this, it's about to get ugly for her. Legally, her connection to this case could go a few different ways. If they can prove she knew about any of the shady business, or tried to block the investigation, Sis might be looking at some heavy charges. Even if she ain't directly involved, just being wrapped up in Diddy's alleged crimes could wreck her future in Hollywood. Meanwhile, this leaked tape is bringing up an old rumor, the so-called secret tape network in Hollywood. Word on the street, according to folks like Jaguar Wright, is that tons of celebs are victims of hidden recordings used to control or keep them in line. These tapes supposedly catch everything from illegal dealings to scandalous personal moments, and they get used to silence or manipulate the stars who get caught up. And it ain't just J-Lo and Diddy in danger. Allegations have been swirling that big names like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and even Steve Harvey have also been caught in some compromising situations that might be part of this shady secret tape network. Could that be why so many celebs stay quiet when their peers are caught up in a mess? Kim was one of the first girls who was brave enough to get tapes and get what she needed to get. You understand, this is commerce. This is a bank exchange on flesh and pride and ego. Tama knew she could get Usher because she had evidence of what he was doing with the dealer, and guess what? Rather than going to the police and doing the right thing when that boy drowned on Lake Lanier, Usher did nothing for his stepchild. Matter of fact, I know for a fact he paid money to have that investigation shut down. Jaguar Wright, known for dropping bombshells about Hollywood's elite, has been saying for a minute that some industry power players got these secret tapes and use them to keep folks in check. And let's be real, none of the celebs she's accused have hit her with a defamation lawsuit, which makes you wonder if there's some truth to her claims, if this tape network is real. It could expose a whole new level of corruption in the game, and if this footage gets out or links J-Lo to any illegal moves, baby, that could be a game changer for her career. J-Lo's been a powerhouse, balancing music, movies, fashion, and business like it's nothing for decades. But the entertainment industry doesn't play when it comes to controversy. Sis might find herself dropped quickly if these accusations keep heating up. Think about it. Brands like Versace and L'Oreal, who've been rocking with her for years, might back off if her image gets too messy.